In this week's episode, we've got lots to see and plenty going on as we make our way from the Inner Hebrides to our staging point in the Outer Hebrides in Scotland. Definitely glad that we made it back to the boat before anybody else moved it for us.
So it is really hard to find these things, but we definitely seen one.
We're here to stage before we head over to... Welcome to Sailingjibsea. 2 years ago, we knew nothing about sailing, but took off from Canada with an urge for adventure. I'm Steph. This is Travis, and this is our home, Jibsea. We moved quickly, and in a short time have made it down south and even crossed an ocean, but we still have a whole lot more of the world to see. Subscribe and join our life on the water.
We just found a wicked unmarked anchorage, and it's questionable anchorage, but we knew we were not going to have any winds for the next few days. And check out where it is. Boom! Yep.
I think we're anchored in some rocks, but good holding for now in no wind.
Yeah, there's very little current, but you can see a boat right back there. Nice little channel. Very little current, and if you're here with barely no wind, we're not moving an inch. We haven't moved an inch, so I feel very confident, and you physically can't beat that backdrop. That's a postcard castle right there.
It's the most famous one in Scotland.
Yeah, according to Google. So we're gonna go check it out today.
Eileen Donan Castle is a tidal island situated where 3 sea locks merge. If this castle looks familiar, it may be because it's been featured in a bunch of movies, like James Bond as the Scottish headquarters of MI6. The castle's gone through several phases of development. The earliest fortification dates back to the 13th century. In 1719, it was partially destroyed in a Jacobite uprising. The island was purchased in 1911 by Lieutenant Colonel McRae Gilstrap, and he started the reconstruction, which was then completed in 1932. Today, the castle is owned by the Concord Charitable Trust that restores and preserves it. Inside said strictly no photography or videography, filming. So, a lot of the outside, yeah, you're allowed to take photos and everything, but I think certain stuff inside they want to keep it so that you go in and see it in person, so gotta check it out.
I think we got a couple shots.
Yeah, maybe we'll put it up on Patreon or something.
We left the anchorage by the castle. Just motor sailing a couple hours west today. So then tomorrow when the winds pick up a little bit, we should have a better angle towards the top of Skye, the Isle of Skye. We're just going through this little town here. It's just been unreal so far. It's been very pretty. We haven't had a lot of wind at all. We've had one good sail day. The rest have been motoring, but that's okay because some of these places that we really wanted to go to, they involve no wind. It just takes a lot of fuel, which fuel's really expensive right now, so it kind of sucks, but gotta do what we gotta do. Oh, there's an old castle right on that hill too. Probably can't get it, but let's see if we can get it. I got scared there for a sec. I knew it said 29 meters, but that was looking a lot closer than 29 meters. Always does. Decided to anchor in this bay yesterday, but we've seen kind of a little hike up this hill here. We haven't really stretched our legs in a while, so that's what we're gonna try to do today. However, landing the dinghy was a bit difficult because the tide's coming up. And as you can see, that's the closest we can get it. So I tried to make a rope, so if the tide goes up, I can still pull the dinghy closer to shore. So we don't have to get our feet wet. But we're totally making our way through this bush to get up where the trail looks like it starts. But this is how people had to travel back in the day. There was no roads.
This is how we're traveling today.
I know, but back in the day, they had no other option.
That one went foot deep.
Found the start of the trail. Solid ground now. So it kind of just zigs and zags. Look at him. It's a very shiny snake. Not scared at all. Come look at this guy.
Hold on.
He looks like a sand digger or something. Want to do the, are there any poisonous snakes in...
Ooh, I don't want, no.
Are there any poisonous snakes in Scotland?
Ew, it looks like a big worm.
I know, it's a really neat snake. That's cool. I can see where we're heading to next. It's on the Isle of Skye, but you can see sailboat behind us. He's gonna go through that cut, and then just on the other side of that, there's a little, sticks out a little bit. You can see that's where we're going. However, it's a super clear day. That's still 20 miles. So not too long. We got 4 hours, but up here it feels like we got a little bit of wind, but I think when we go down low, we got, like it says, maybe 8 to 10 knots, and it's straight downwind, so it's gonna be a slow go if we sail it. Probably put up the pole. What are you laughing at?
Your socks.
Yeah, I know. It's all right. We're gonna stop here and turn around. It just seems like it just keeps going all the way around and around and around. It says it was like a 5K hike. Since we still got a bit of a sail today and trying to see another spot, because we only have one day over there as well, and we got to leave early in the morning because it looks like a good weather window to take us up to Stornoway. So, gotta go do that. Trying to squeeze it all in. Why we're trying to rush, probably wondering. We're trying to get to somewhere to stage for our next sort of offshore crossing to explore some insane islands. And then when we come back to this way, we'll take a little bit more time.
So stay tuned. Oh, I'm behind us.
We're off to the next spot. Wing on wing. Heading yonder. Just left this bay, Applecross Bay. We did a little hike in the morning, and now we're taking off. The beach that we're gonna be anchored up front is called Anchoran Beach, pretty sure. And it has Megalosaurus footprints in the rock. So that's gonna be freaking cool. We're wing on wing right now. The wind's pretty decent, and then we're gonna cut to 120 once we turn left around the islands up here. So it should be a good sail on over. We're gonna just spend the day there. Gonna hopefully the rain, it actually looks like it's gonna come in pretty heavy, but hopefully it dies out a little bit so we can get to the beach and check it all out.
Sure there's dinosaur footprints in there?
Yeah.
I'm just looking it up. Hopefully we see some dinosaur footprints. But
We're
in
going
any
to.
case, are we?
Yeah.
Okay. It's starting to rain, so I don't know how much time, but we were trying to get here tonight because you have to come at low tide, so it's either 10 o'clock at night or 10:45 tomorrow morning, but that's going to take away from some wind time that we have to sail tomorrow.
So it is really hard to find these things, but we definitely seen one, and I've seen another one that I'm trying to find now. I filmed it, but I didn't say anything about it. I was just like, oh, that looks like one, and I'm pretty sure it was one. But these things were first discovered like 20 years ago, and they were very pronounced footprints. You could see them, but landscapes change. This is a whole tidal area too, so the tide comes up. So if it's been really rough, sand could have come in and totally hidden a lot of these footprints. But let's go read the sign.
About 166 million years ago, a group of meat-eating Megalosaurus dinosaurs walked through the mud here beside a warm, shallow sea. At the time, Skye was part of a huge continent south of the equator. Layers of mud covered the footprints and preserved them as fossils. In 2001, dog walkers found a single footprint by Anne Corin. Dino experts found another 17 more scattered across the rocks. We were able to spot 4 while here.
The one I stepped in, 100%. So cool. Dinosaurs were having a beach day that day. Oh, another thing. It couldn't be the most perfect setting for this whole thing. This is such a neat landscape. I took a photo of it. I filmed a little bit. I'm going to show you.
We're here to stage before we head over to
The Pharaohs.
Yeah, that's gonna be so cool. We figured that we couldn't come all the way up north here without going there, because when else would we ever go there?
I never even knew about these islands, like half the places we go to.
Me neither.
And I found them like maybe a couple years ago, and I was like, holy crap, those are insane. Where are those? And I realized, oh, they're above Scotland. And then when we got closer and I kind of re-thought about it, I looked at how far they were. I'm like, oh, they're only 200 nautical miles from Scotland. That doesn't seem far at all. So it
Not
seems
anymore.
like,
Not anymore.
yeah, it doesn't seem far anymore. So I kind of have to do it, I think.
Yeah, but yeah, we chose to stage here because after being a little bit more remote along the coast, this place has a grocery store, a cute little town, a smokehouse that you really wanted to check out.
Yeah, it's nothing like
And-
some North Atlantic salmon, smoked.
Smoked cheddar too.
Smoked goodness. I love
Yeah.
smoked stuff.
And then there's fuel. Gotta fuel up before we go over there. So
Well, we've had to motor a lot through Scotland. Not ideal because, you know, we're a sailboat and fuel's really expensive right now. But like I said a bit ago, a lot of the places that we've wanted to go see, you need dead calm conditions. So instead of waiting for a sailing window where we could only sail like a couple hours and then we'd be at an anchorage that wouldn't be ideal for what we wanted to see, we just said, screw it, we're gonna motor to a lot of this stuff. We got good sailing, but a lot of motoring. So we need diesel.
what sucks about having to like motor our way around Scotland is the fact that the pound is very, very bad on our conversion from Canadian dollars, and it is expensive. I mean, diesel fuel is expensive everywhere right now in the world, but it is freaking expensive. So the Faroes, we were kind of debating on whether or not we wanted to go because we have to buy charts for it.
Yeah, it was like $200, and then we had to keep our Iridium Go, and then we had to get our offshore predict wind again. And I'm like, ooh, this
But then
trip's
how
like,
could we not go? So it was just like a debate, but it wasn't really a debate because we knew that we were going to end up going. So if you've liked what you've seen so far and you're excited to see what's upcoming, any support really does help. We have our awesome patrons
Yeah.
that do help us out a lot in supporting these videos. If you want to join there, that would be amazing.
yeah, and just people like you really help this channel grow. So if you like where we're going,
Over there.
any support, just even a like or a share, it means a ton to us.
We just finished laundry right here, and we're on our way back to Jibsea, and we noticed that the dinghy key was gone. We're the only boat in the anchorage, but we're in the way of a project that they're doing. We're just waiting for the harbor master to come and bring us our dinghy key, because he just took that as a way to kind of signal us to give them a call. You don't like finding notes in our dinghy, do you?
No, I was like, ah, great.
What's this one say? But yeah, the last time we found a note back in Puerto Rico, if you guys remember that, that was horrible. We're in the way right now. There are gonna be explosives. So we need to move our boat. They were about to move our boat. They're like, yeah, we were just about to move the boat for you, so glad we don't have to do that.
Yeah, I was
So
like,
we're
me
just
too.
Yeah. So we're just heading back, and then we'll hail them on the radio when we're ready to move our boat into this spot over here. It's closer to shore, so. Not really sure where they're going to be blasting, but they've moved all their machinery that was out front to the back over there.
Right up there where those guys are. That big quarry. The blasting it.
We just picked up anchor, and now we are trying to find a new spot to anchor. But we didn't really want to snug in that close initially because our chart said that it was a lot shallower than what they're telling us it is now. Definitely glad that we made it back to the boat before anybody else moved it for us.
We're not into that.
No, we're not into that. You never want to return back to your boat where it's not where you left it. I mean, we're not in sandy, clear Caribbean waters anymore, so we would never want the boat to be moved and re-anchored and not know if it's even set, because we don't even know, like we can't see the bottom. I'm pretty sure it's a lot of rock and stuff too. That just wouldn't sit right to know if somebody moved it and we don't even know if it's holding. So glad we made it back on time and we moved our boat ourselves, and we were able to scope out a new spot and feel comfortable before dropping the hook and heading off of it again. Now we are a lot closer for Travis to just do dinghy runs with the jerry cans. So worked out, I guess. And we're a closer dinghy ride to shore.
I'll probably just have to...
You and your milk.
Oh, man, we haven't had... You don't get... Well, okay. I love milk. And the milk in the Caribbean was really, really expensive.
Like fresh milk.
Yeah, fresh milk. Because we went with the UHT and stuff, was it?
Yeah.
Found a really good one in the Azores, but obviously now we can get fresh milk, so...
That's all you drink.
I've been drinking tons of milk.
Well, we're closer to shore now, so we can go and get jugs and jugs if we want.
Yeah. Well, I can dinghy right there to get the gas. That little walk.
Yeah, I would not want to dock up to that.
No.
So close.
He might even come up and sleep here, I bet. We'd feel that at night.
So I think they're about to blast because we just heard on the radio that they've told another boat coming through the fairway to hold their position.
Well, that was uneventful, but obviously they got to take all the safety precautions they can. We were so far from that. Obviously, you don't know what's going to happen when a blast goes off. So, yeah.
What did you want? Freaking.
Yeah, I want to like kaboom. We're just prepping a couple things before we head off tomorrow. Because the Faroe Islands, there's not many anchorages. You're going to have to tie up to like a big fishing wall, which is like tires. It's very industrial. I got to take my fenders out that I inflated in the Caribbean when we never tied up to anything. We just anchored and they were always hanging off the side of the boat. So I finally deflated them, but now I have to put airbag in them, and all I have is this little guy. That's it. Look at the throw. With that needle, it's gonna take a little while.